in 2020. And elsewhere, the Supreme Court has reserved its judgment on an appeal filed by the Governor of Plateau State, Mutfwang, challenging the nullification of his election by the Court of Appeal. A 5-member panel of the Apex Court, led by Justice InyangOkoro, reserved the appeal for judgment after parties argued their case and adopted their processes. TVC News Judiciary correspondent Justice InyangOkoro reports.
Governor Mutfwang, through his counsel Kanwa Gabi, is asking the Supreme Court to uphold the judgment of the tribunal and set aside the judgment of the Court of Appeal because the respondents have no legal right to question how a party elects its state executives. He insists the respondent cannot claim he did not secure the number of lawful votes ascribed to him, at the same time say the election was invalid. The appellate court nullified the election on a wrong notion that the PDP failed to fully comply with a High Court order that directed it to conduct congresses for the purpose of electing its state executives. The APC and its candidates, on their part, argued that the PDP is in disobedience of a valid court order that directed them to conduct Congress in 17 local governments, but only conducted in 5. The PDP's refusal to elect its state executives, as ordered by the court, rendered it structureless in Plateau State and therefore incapable of presenting a valid candidate in the governorship election.
That the Congress, they said, never held is actually a subject matter that no court can deal with. You also had it in court, that it is not for any court to determine whether that Congress was valid or invalid. You know, the judgment has not come, and we are waiting to hear what the decision will be.
The court also reserved judgment in the Delta State governorship election appeal.
Gender is a procedural matter. Whether a person is rightly in the case or not is something within the exclusive purview of the court to determine. As a plaintiff, as a petitioner, you can bring 100 people to court. But it's for the court to determine whether those people have been rightly brought to court. And in this case, the tribunal came to a conclusion that the parties that were joined were not necessary parties.
They prematurely threw out our case, so we had to go to the appeal court and then the Supreme Court before going back to the tribunal. In the process, we didn't have enough time to go into our case the way we would have loved to. But we did the best we could, given the circumstances, and we believe that even with the circumstances, we have a very good case.
The appeal arising from Plateau State will lapse on 16th January, while that of Delta State will lapse on 21st January. The court will, on or before this date, deliver its judgment. Justice InyangOkoro, TVC News, Abuja.